Welcome to Tech Talk with Jared Yellin. I am so excited that you've chosen to spend your time with us, where we interview tech founders, tech investors, and influencers in the space of tech. Listen, you're here because you're interested, you're excited, and you want to immerse yourself in tech. It's the greatest vehicle you can step into, whether it's observing or actually playing a part. 2022 is the year of the entrepreneur. And when that becomes the theme, the outcome is opportunity. Opportunity for you to maybe launch your own tech company. Opportunity for you to maybe invest in a tech company. An opportunity for you to galvanize energy and support for other entrepreneurs from around the world. But there's a catch and a challenge. There's not that much diversity in tech. And today I wanted to invite a dear friend of mine, someone who is leading the charge on diversity in tech for 10X Incubator. 10X Incubator is the most unique incubator you're ever going to find, because what 10X Incubator does is it co-founds tech companies with people that have ideas that they've written on a piece of paper, or maybe a minimum viable product, or even a cash-flowing tech company. And when the right person shows up with the right idea in the right market and the right business model, 10X Incubator gives them a shot and co-founds a company with them. And one of the most important things that 10X Incubator stands to do is to ensure there's diversity in tech, that everyone has a shot, regardless of age, ethnicity, skin color, economic status, everybody. And as a result, 10X Incubator has partnered with Jarrett Albritton to ensure this outcome. So that as 10X Incubator builds, scales, and sells 10,000 tech companies in 10 years, we guarantee diversity. Diversity of country, diversity of ethnicity, diversity of skin color and gender, diversity for everyone. So Jared, my friend, we're here.
Hey, man.
It's an honor to have you on Tech Talk. You've been in the tech industry now for years, right? This is such a huge part of your life. What got you going in tech? What about tech was so exciting for you?
Yeah, so I've been in tech for 15 years, started off in 2006, and it was actually just by chance I met IBM at a career expo. I'd been doing sales, door-to-door sales, throughout my summers in college, and so I was actually just looking for a sales role. And but when IBM approached me, and they approached me about all the problems that they solve for businesses, and I was a huge Apprentice fan, so being in the big boardrooms with the big executives talking about big problems, that's what fascinated me about tech, is the fact that tech is ever evolving. There's always new companies and new ideas that become the next Google or the next Microsoft or the next Apple. So it's a recession-proof industry, and it's basically the lifeblood of all businesses. So, my career basically was focusing on what are businesses' problems and how do we solve them. And when I got into IBM, and I was lucky enough to get an enterprise sales job at 23 years old, wasn't even supposed to get that role, but me just being confident and aggressive, I asked for the role and I got it. Once I got in there, I just made sure that I was solving problems. And I think the opportunity in tech is incredible for everybody, whether you're an entrepreneur or you work with a startup or you work for one of the big companies. The ability to solve problems and change people's lives, make things easier for people, solve problems. I'm all about solving problems.
I love that, man.
And the thing that really bothered me though is, in my tech career, I was always the only person in the room or the one of very few. And I honestly do believe tech cares about diversity. They want people to, basically apply and get the roles, etc. But I think the access was lacking in terms of, LinkedIn, Indeed, or whatever. It's hard to identify, who are the diverse candidates and how can we bridge them together. So what I've been doing the last year has been really dope because it's created eliminated that barrier to access, just getting people into tech roles. And now with you, we can eliminate that barrier to access to get funding and actually launch a startup, because it's really about privilege and access at the end of the day. And a lot of people don't have it. And so social audio, social media, and the show you're doing with Tech Tanks and what you're doing with Tech Talks and all of that, it's going to help us expose a lot of people that didn't have that access to this opportunity. So I'm excited about that.
I love it. Notice you're such a change maker. And that's what really gravitates me to you. Many people are change talkers. They talk about change. They talk about problems. They talk about inefficiency, but they don't actualize a solution. And you're a maker. You're the one that immerses yourself in. You're like, let's get dirty. Let's figure this out. And I agree with you. I think the tech industry really does want to create a diverse climate. I do. I do believe that Silicon Valley, which is like the mecca of tech for right now, they really do want to create equal access, but they're not actually doing it. They're not creating the conduit for it. They're not having, whether it's gender or whether it's age or whether it's skin color or ethnicity, they're not creating opportunities for all. And what we stand to do is that. So let's speak into that. Like, why do you think, like in the space of tech right now, there's a lot of chatter about diversity, but so true, like limited implementation? Like, where is the barrier right now in tech?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think number one, being able to consolidate diverse candidates and speak directly to them. There's a couple conferences that do that, effectively. Like Afrotech is somebody I partner with and I'm very passionate about, but there needs to be more Afrotechs. And basically Clubhouse, I was not expecting to become some influencer, have 67,000 plus followers, whatever the case was. I just really wanted to see how can I reach down and pull people up and in. So if you're not familiar with Clubhouse or social audio, it's basically an opportunity to have a stage where you can educate, motivate, provide access to people and information in a way that's super scalable. We have thousands of people that come in and out of rooms. So like you said, we could talk about diversity in tech or we can focus on the results. So what I did basically is create these rooms called Tech Careers Recruiter Spotlights. We have recruiters from Apple, Google, Netflix, Microsoft, IBM come on a stage. But for them, what's a game changer is they can see the audience and all the profiles, and there's so much diversity in the audience. Awesome. And we bring up that diverse audience and they shoot their shot. We'd have over 100 people get placed in the tech through these rooms. So it's really just about how can we get a diverse audience, educate them, get them skilled, trained up, certifications, courses, so that they can actually do well at the job. Because it's not about just getting diversity in tech, it's about having them succeed in tech. And so, with social audio, that's given us an opportunity to do that. Twitter Spaces I'm excited about. We're gonna really go crazy with that. Because I've never seen it before. I had 80 followers and I popped in this room. It was called, Black in Tech. And it was like 300 black people in a room talking about tech and asking how to break in. I never seen anything like that. And I think, having in-person conferences and things of that nature just wasn't as effective. But now that we have this metaverse and these social audio platforms where we can all just gather from Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, California, New York, and all be in one place, get the people that are impossible to access because they're getting hit up by so many people looking for jobs. And at the end of the day, I don't blame the recruiters. They just go with what's in front of them. And what's in front of them are the people that have the access and the privilege and the connections.
So let's talk about diversity and entrepreneurship too, right? Because I know that lights you up, right?
Right.
Getting diversity in tech, like mature companies, is awesome. Like it's also critical because once there's diversity, those companies become more relatable to wider audiences. But what about in entrepreneurship, right? Like think about someone a black child growing up in a community where maybe they have no access to the resources needed to launch their entrepreneurial vision. And then they get a chance to connect with you, whether it's through Clubhouse or Twitter Space, and you show them possibility, man. You're like, listen, that idea that you have, that you scribbled on a piece of paper, that no one around you is taking seriously because no one around you has ever been able to accomplish that, we have a path for you. Speak into that. Like, speak into what it means to bring diversity into entrepreneurship, creating tech founders, all different skin colors, all different ethnicities, all different ages, all genders, even playing field. Speak into that.
Yeah, so everything I'm talked about in terms of what I did to get people into tech roles, we can absolutely do that in terms of building out tech entrepreneurs. The only thing that I was lacking was an actual infrastructure to fund them and actually get them scaled up, and that's why I'm excited to partner with you. But at the end of the day, it's really just about creating a belief that it's possible, and that's what we're going to be able to do, is basically get a room full of diverse people, the ability to pitch to you, napkin ideas, whatever the case is. Because I think what's killing diversity in entrepreneurship is just a lack of belief, because we don't have access to Silicon Valley. We don't feel confident in our ability to build out a pitch deck. We don't feel confident in our ability to, have a tech stack and build it out and all those kind of things. But we have great ideas. So as long as we can give people access to all those things they feel they don't have access to, and they just need the idea and the gumption to make it happen, with a couple of successful use cases, it's going to just go like wildfire. And the importance of having diverse founders is that they can go back into their communities and pull more people up, and also inspire others to do the same. So I'm excited about that, the increase in belief, and also the ability now to actually execute once they understand what's possible.
You know what I love? I look you in the eyes, right? Like I feel your passion for this. I feel the commitment for it too. Let's paint a picture, like when it works. Like when it works, we together, we co-found 7,000 diverse tech companies with people that felt marginalized, people that were told they had no chance, people that were told you just gotta live a status quo life, that found you. They found someone that you trained. They found someone else that came through the process before them that pulled them up. What happens in the world? 7,000, let's say. There's 7,000 diverse tech founders that exist. What happens?
Man, what happens is just generational wealth, number one, which I'm excited about. And I love the story about, somebody in a mud hut in Africa, right, with a great idea, and they're able to just hop on a social audio room or hop into Tech Tank, share their idea, and now they're, founder of a multi-billion-dollar company. I think the redistribution of, wealth is what I'm really excited about. Also just diverse founders creating diverse companies that create more diverse founders, and that snowball effect. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I'm just excited about that person we meet, and then 10 years later, they're on the covers of Forbes, and they're like, thank God that they met Jared Yellin and Jarrett Albritton. That's what I'm really excited about. I look at every person with that type of potential and that opportunity. And I just want people to believe in themselves and have access to the resources and have the ability to execute, because they are, housed within this, 10X incubator. So I could ramble on and on about it, but at the end of the day, I just want young boys and girls just to know that it's possible. Yeah. And with this platform and 7,000 founders that go through the process and that are successful, that 7,000 is going to exponentially inspire so many people. And not only that, but they can actually impact economies and impact generational wealth opportunities for people that look like them.
From around the world, right? To this global impact. And what's so important is you talk about resources. And resources is such a diverse term, because resources looks like economic resources, so funding. Resources look like team. Resources look like promotional support. Resources look like infrastructure inside of a company. Resources look like having the right people present in order to scale and exit companies, and that's what you're doing. Like you're providing the total package, so that young boy or girl, or that older man or woman, because we always say that the beauty of tech is it's never too early and it's never too late to become a tech founder. Never. We have 11-year-old founders.
Absolutely.
We have 77-year-old founders, and everybody in between. But it's not even just about empowering them, although that's a piece of it. It's literally giving them the exact tools they need to dramatically increase their likelihood of success. And I want to commend you, man. You raised your hand, and then you stepped up and you stepped in. You said, I'm going to partner with 10X Incubator, and I'm going to be the face and the voice of diversity in tech. And that was part of our moonshot. Build, scale, sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years, and at least 7,000 of them must be diverse. At least, if not all 10,000. They need to be diverse. We need to create an even playing field, and you've done it. and you stepped in. I want to acknowledge you. I want you to realize this is so much about you and the legacy that you create, but I know the motivation is to help the 7,000 or 10,000 or 4,000, whatever the number is, other entrepreneurs create their own legacy so they can lift others up around them. I commend you. Thank you for coming to Tech Talk, man. Thank you for who you are and what you're doing. Thank you for your commitment to just ensuring that diversity happens, not by talking about it, but by doing it. As we always say, together we achieve more, bro. I'm honored to partner with you.
Excited for the results we're about to create. So thank you so much for having me.